Hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this edition of the 700 Club. It's been called a disaster of biblical proportions. The powerful Storm Harvey could eventually drop as much as 25 trillion gallons of water on those poor people who live in Texas. And it could end up being as expensive as Hurricane Katrina, probably more so.
Well, President Trump is visiting Texas today to inspect the damage from this storm. And as CBN's Eric Rosales reports, ordinary people have been going out of their way to help those in need. Take a look.
The rain continues, and so do the rescues. People are using whatever they can, from big trucks to even their own personal boats, just trying to get people out of stranded cars and bring them to safety.
Yeah, do y'all have boats right now or no?
We don't have any boats, so
we've got 3 boats, so we don't know the area.
Yeah.
These men tell CBN News they are doing what God told them to do. That is to leave the safety of their homes in Victoria, Texas, and drive up to the Houston suburb of Richmond to save lives.
I think somebody has to be the first person to put that foot out in front and say we're gonna take this initiative.
Reed Goodman just moved from North Dakota. He's been looking for work for the past 5 weeks and didn't understand why nothing surfaced. Now he realizes it was all part of God's plan, a plan that included his father and brother take their boat to Houston and save others from the rising flood waters.
A lot of these things fall into place for a reason that we don't understand, and they have a rhythm and emotion that only God can put together.
Reed's brother Robin said he felt like God was calling him to serve as well.
So I gave a call up to my dad and said, "Where are y'all?" They said, we haven't left Victoria yet. And I said, "All right, I'm an hour behind you." They had the boat, and I said, "I'll be the driver."
The group thought that they would be camping and sleeping in their trucks. But thanks to Texas generosity, people have opened their homes to give them food and shelter.
And sure enough, these mandatory evacuations happened literally about 8 to 10 hours ago, and there's going to be a flood of people that need it. So opening the house up is like the smallest thing we could possibly do to help.
With nearly 2 feet of rain expected on top of the 30-plus inches in some places, authorities worry the worst is yet to come. Harvey's been blamed for several deaths so far. It's been reported 6 family members drowned when their van was swept away by the rising flood waters. And Houston's police chief fears there could be more.
There is a reality that we have to come to grips with, and that is we are just beginning the process of responding to this storm.
City engineers release water from a pair of reservoirs to relieve pressure on older dams, but most of that water flowed directly into waterlogged neighborhoods. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has activated all 12,000 National Guard members. CBN's own Operation Blessing is helping the victims as well.
There's power in what we do, and so that's the greatest calling we have, is to share the love of Jesus.
Meanwhile, Houston's first responders and others are plucking thousands from the flood waters.
We're looking forward to a good day tomorrow, and many more to come. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Including this group from Victoria, Texas. And we wish that group from Victoria, Texas, the best of luck. Again, there are still thousands of people out there that are stranded on their rooftops, and you can feel the wind combined with the rain. It is starting to get a little cold when you get damped out there. Behind me right now is the Georgia Browns Convention Center, and there are some 9,000 people that are inside there. They're literally running out of cots. They're just putting people on the floor. Right now, a number of people are going inside, volunteering. I mean, we have medical doctors, we have nurses, we have just ordinary people, Texans helping other Texans. That's what's going on here. But everybody's concerned right now because Tropical Storm Harvey has moved back out into the coast, and it continues to gain strength, and that's bringing more rain to this area. That's something that we do not need, and they're afraid that it's going to be hitting possibly in the Louisiana area, but that's going to bring even more rain to this natural disaster. Pat?
Well, Eric, Houston is so huge and widespread. Is there an issue for the first responders? Can they get to these people?
You know, it really is an issue because we're talking about a 10,000 square mile area, and it's just so vast and so wide. So as of right now, first responders are just kind of working their way out. So a lot of people are just using their own boats, trying to get to the people who are in the county area to get them to safety and to get them off the rooftops and to bring them to a dry area. It's just been tough.
You said more is on the way. I heard one guy talking about another 3, 4, 5 inches. Is this going to, there's no question there hadn't been a storm of this magnitude on record, has there?
No question at all, Pat. I tell you what, when we're talking about the amount of rainfall that we're having, the spillways are just, they're over the bank, and that is what's causing a lot of the neighborhoods to become flooded, along with the reservoirs. They're actually having to release even more water, and they're trying to release it at a pace where it will not continue to flood this neighborhoods down below, but they have to release the water, otherwise we could have a break in the levee, and that could end up causing even more problems out here.
The thing that's touching people around the nation is that how warm-spirited those people in Texas are, the Houston. They're opening their hearts to help one another. And then there's this thing called the Cajun Navy coming in from Louisiana with boats to help them. I mean, it's really heartwarming, isn't it? Did you find anybody that's resisting this impetus?
It is. No, absolutely not. No, nobody's resisting this effort. I mean, we're talking about just Texans helping other Texans, and you mentioned the Louisiana, the Cajun Navy, and yeah, they're out here as well. We tried to get to them, but I tell you what, the roads are just, they're washed away, and some of them are giving way. We were on a couple of roads that was pretty scary when the car starts to begin to move, so we backed up out of there because we don't want to be part of the story as well.
Well, Eric, thank you for keep covering it. We'll be watching. I think America's praying for the people down in Harris County and all over the greater Houston area. It's moving into New Orleans, and I was there very much in Katrina and Operation Blessing operating in Katrina. Operation Blessing is working very strongly down in Houston with trailers for showers, with portable kitchens, with MRIs, with all these things that people are, I say MRIs, it's meals ready to eat, whatever, with rations that they need. So it's a beautiful thing to see. And we're working, and here's the deal. If you want to help Operation Blessing, let's see. Here's a call, 1-800-759-0700, or you can log on to cbn.com. We are there in the middle of it. We were there in the middle of Katrina. I personally was down on the Gulf Coast. The president is going to be down with his wife, and I think they said to him, don't make the same mistake that George Bush made.
Yeah. You know, I heard somebody yesterday saying that was in the thick of all of this. You know, people think, well, what can I do? And they think about gathering things that they have, but that really the real need is finances so that they can undergird all of what's being done down there. So that's an opportunity to undergird Operation Blessing, because they're already there.
We're buying the stuff we need. We're feeding people. And we have clean water, and we have clothes, and we have blankets, and we have all the things that people need in an emergency.